This is Japanese omurice, a dish that's nearly impossible to prepare properly.
And it's just one of 11 different Asian egg dishes we'll be trying in this video.
My God, that was a flavor explosion.
From Japan,
It looked like it was plastic, like it wasn't even real.
to India,
Everything about Indian food is flavor maxing.
from Korea,
Look at that, just mega fluff.
all the way to Thailand.
There is nothing like this in the USA.
Prepare to see egg recipes like you've never seen before,
What's that, brother?
starting in Vietnam.
If you've eaten pho anywhere outside of Vietnam, you've probably never seen this before. This is a classic bowl of beef pho, but on the side we have an optional add-on. This is the pho egg. The recipe seems simple, but it all starts with that complex broth.
A broth that simmered from early in the morning with a combination of pork bones, meat, charred onion, ginger, and spices. Hours of bubbling away give it a deep aromatic flavor. Just crack in eggs with a bowl while skimming away most of the egg white, and you've got yourself a creamy companion.
First they put in the egg yolk and then they pour that broth on top and they cook it, but it definitely doesn't cook all the way through. And that's the fun of this dish. And it's really a one-biter. Look at that. It's like the only way you can tell anything is cooked is that some of the egg white has turned, well, white. But otherwise, this looks almost completely raw. Let's give it a shot. Oh, that's nice. I mean, that is the high point of this meal. Rich, creamy, delicious. You're getting that silky, smooth texture from that egg yolk, but it's mixed with that nice, deep bone broth. So you're getting an even more full flavor. That's a good egg.
Next, we're heading a few blocks over in the city of Saigon to try another Vietnamese egg favorite.
This is one of my favorite egg dishes of the day because it doesn't resemble eggs at all. Some say that this is a way to make the meat go even further in Vietnam, just like what we do in the USA with our meatloaf, but I don't know if that's the case. I mean, this isn't called pork loaf or meatloaf, it's called egg loaf. It's always part of a rice-based dish known as gum tom or broken rice.
First, the yolks are separated from the whites and saved for later. Then a mound of ground pork, pork paste, wood ear mushrooms, and glass noodles are mixed with the egg whites. In go shallots, sugar, salt, pepper, and MSG, mixed by hand until you have one sticky, smooth mass. Press it into a pan, cover it with plastic wrap, and steam for an hour.
Then on the top, they take the yolks from the egg, they whip them up, and they spread it across, and that gets steamed too, creating this beautiful color on top. My first time seeing this, my fat American brain thought, oh my God, this is covered in cheese. But no, heartbreaking. Ooh, that's a nice texture. It is very firm and very dense. Let's give it a shot. Cheers. It's so loafy. Here, there's such a consistent, fine, dense texture throughout that's very satisfying to sink your teeth through. Beyond that, it's full of pork, so every bite you take, you're getting a little gush of pork juice. One of the keys to making this dish work is the fact that it's steamed and not baked or not cooked. That makes the texture even more consistent throughout. And even though it's full of all these other ingredients, it's the egg that really shines. And the pork, and the fish sauce, and also the noodles are good too.
As our egg adventure continues, we're heading from Vietnam all the way to India.
In India, if you put fewer than 5 spices in anything, it's considered bland. Even their water has turmeric. Everything about Indian food is flavor maxing. And with their eggs, it's no different. Right here, a classic Indian egg dish known as Egg Bhurji.
In Hindi, the word bhurji literally means scrambled. It's pure street food energy. Eggs that push the limits of how much spice is okay to start your day. Shallots, chilies, and tomatoes hit hot oil. Turmeric and red chili powder bloom in the pan. In go the eggs, stirred with consistent movement to break them down into small curds. The moisture cooks off, the scramble turns dry, and the spice waits for its moment.
I gotta say, it looks delicious. Let's give it a shot. Cheers. That's nice. First of all, it's spicy. Upon my first bite, I'm noticing there is some serious heat coming off this thing, not to mention the turmeric. So you're getting spices and it's also spicy at the same time. And you've got that tomato coming through, onion, and then coriander, adding a little bit of freshness. What I respect about these eggs is that In India, everything is spiced to the gills. I swear, I have seen some curries in India that have 15, 20, maybe 25 different spices inside. But here, they've only put in 5 or 6 spices. To me, that shows restraint, and that shows discipline.
From the home of Bollywood, we're headed to the birthplace of K-pop. Welcome to Korea. Here, this meat-obsessed nation has managed to whip up an egg recipe that pairs perfectly with barbecue.
Welcome to the next country on our expedition, South Korea. Right here we have an egg dish known as GYERAN-JJIM, or steamed eggs. Oh my God, look at that. Just mega fluff. If you were in a car crash, you would want to have whatever this is inside the airbag.
For amateurs attempting to cook a fluffy egg tower like this, things can go wrong fast. But not if you follow this ancient Korean recipe. First, eggs are whisked with salt and seasonings, then strained until completely smooth. In that clay pot, chicken stock and chopped carrots are mixed and brought to a rolling boil. The egg mixture is poured in until it settles. Now drop the heat and stir gently for several minutes. Finally comes the secret to creating that extra layer of fluffiness. They seal the pot with another one on top. Then steam for 2 minutes until the eggs have risen and set. Finish it off with a drizzle of sesame oil and a sprinkle of sesame seeds.
The hardest part about eating this dish is being patient, because it is so hot and so steamy. Let's give it a shot. So good, so satisfying. A consistent texture throughout, something between spongy and fluffy, and it's full of that delicious chicken broth. It's really savory too. Here's the thing, when you're drinking, you've got meat, kimchi, vegetables, so for me the steamed egg is like guilt-free drunk dining. But that's potentially too many eggs. American doctors recommend no more than 2 eggs a day. Korean doctors disagree.
From Korea, we're headed right next door to the land that invented the 1,000-year-old egg, China. China is also the birthplace of tea, the primary ingredient in our next Asian egg recipe.
Welcome to Chinatown. Actually, we've been to Vietnam this whole time. I'm so sorry. Now, as much as I've traveled throughout Asia, this is an egg dish I have never seen before. Anytime you see Chinese food that has a broth like this that's nearly black, you could guess that it's probably gonna have a medicinal flavor to it. This is something a little bit different. Even though it's herbal, this is being sold as a dessert.
This dish is known as the Shen tea egg, named after mulberry mistletoe, a powerful herb used in traditional Chinese medicine for thousands of years.
Surely you've heard of Chinese tea eggs. They're also known as marbled eggs. Well, this is the cousin of that, the herbal Chinese tea egg.
This dish is made from 3 components. First, the broth, or tea. Into boiling water goes rinsed mulberry mistletoe. The tea simmers for hours, giving it a deep color and herbal aroma. The leaves are removed and rock sugar added to soften the bitter taste.
Oh, interesting. The flavor is aromatic and earthy.
To take it up a notch into full dessert territory, add in sweet braised longan.
Right, it's a fruit, slightly sweet but on the mild side. Overall, these flavors are really interesting.
Finally, there are the eggs, fully cooked and peeled. Simmer in the broth until they turn brown, absorbing some sweetness and that mild herbal aroma.
Now, when you look at the color itself, it kind of resembles a soy sauce egg. It's very dark, but I'm curious how deep this tea blend has penetrated into the egg. Oh, the outside has been completely dyed that dark brown, a deep mocha of deliciousness. I am fascinated, confused, perplexed, excited, tantalized. Overall, the flavor is shockingly floral, medicinal, a bit sweet, and deeply herbal. But when you bite into it, you're mostly like, oh, that's a hard-boiled egg. To be honest, I don't think this is meant to be taken out and eaten dry like this. All the flavor, all the personality is in that soup. So without the soup, I mean, it's like a fish out of water.
From China, we're heading to the land of smiles. Welcome to Thailand, a place known more for noodles and curry. But when it comes to eggs, this recipe may be the next to take over the culinary world.
Sawasdee Krap, and welcome to Thailand. Thai food is famous around the world. There's pad Thai, there's tom yum, and then there's this. the Thai egg dish no one's ever heard of before. These are called son-in-law eggs. The name is shrouded in mystery, but let me tell you what I found in my research. Hey ChatGPT, tell me what I found in my research. The folklore is that mothers cook this for their misbehaving son-in-laws. So imagine I'm married to a Thai lady, her mother cooks this for me. But why? Because the fried eggs symbolize male anatomy getting punished. What?
This egg recipe is even wilder than its origin story. It starts with a 7-minute boil. They get peeled, then cooked again. This time dropped in a sizzling deep fry until the skins blister and turn golden brown. Now for the sauce. Oil heats up, shallots and garlic sizzle.
For me and for most people from the Midwest, add a little bit of salt and we're good. But here, they piled on even more flavor.
Tamarind pulp, rock sugar, chili sauce for heat, tomato sauce for color, and a heavy splash of fish sauce. Strain it smooth and drown the eggs in that sticky glaze.
If you want a delicious soft-boiled egg, you don't want that yolk to cook all the way through. Here you can see it looks gooey, sticky, soft, creamy, incredible. Oh, let's toss it back. That was incredible. It's like a Southeast Asian deviled egg. First of all, the texture. That egg yolk is creamy, it coats your mouth. Meanwhile, the egg white is still very tender too, but not raw. But then there's the flavor. You have the richness of that yolk mixing with that sharp flavor of the fish sauce and the tamarind. This is magic right here. It is wild to have something this decadent and then to realize, oh yeah, I'm just eating eggs. Eggs don't have to be boring. Instead of simply frying an egg and adding salt and pepper, we could be doing so much more. We could be destroying the male anatomy of our son-in-laws.
While we're in Thailand, we have one more egg contender to check off our list. It's both an omelet and a hard-boiled egg at the same time. A food that'll make you question everything you know about eggs.
They're known as Thai grilled eggs, and these guys are wild. Ugh, what's that, brother? It looks like its brain is growing out of its skull. Now, I want to show you the best part. How would you even describe that color? Kind of a mustardy light yellow? Typically, if you had a hard-boiled egg, you would rip it open and see that nice yellow, greenish, chalky yolk on the inside. But this, boom, nothing. Just one even eggy consistency all the way through. Now that is wild.
This isn't just cooking, it's laparoscopic egg surgery. First, puncture the shell, just barely, then drain its contents. We'll be saving that calcium casing for later.
It is a recipe that's labor intensive. It takes a lot of work and you have to crack these eggs properly. If you crack it all the way down the middle, you gotta trash it. That said, in spite of all the labor that goes into this, it's not that much more expensive than just a hard-boiled egg you'd find on the street.
Flavor the egg with salt, fish sauce, seasoning powder, sugar, agar-agar, and pepper. Beat it smooth. Then do the unthinkable. Funnel it back inside the vessel from which it came.
They could just put this inside of some kind of a cupcake tin, but no, they're still utilizing the egg. The shell becomes its own cooking vessel.
Now it's time to hit the steamer. Tuck in some pandan leaves.
This is a recipe that anybody could pull off, but I've never heard of it even after living in Asia for over 15 years.
As the aroma builds and hits your nostrils, the seasoned egg mixture transforms into an omelet of the oddest variety. Finally, grill it over charcoal. When the shell starts to burn and the inside smells smoky, it's time to eat.
There's something about this process that makes it smell extra sulfury. That's why when I first tried these, I thought I was eating rotten eggs, and that's why I stopped after 5. Those are amazing. It's like eggs amplified. This is like concentrated egg flavor, all packed into one shell. Here they have all those delicious seasonings blended evenly throughout the egg. Then there's the texture, and that's probably what I like the most. It is kind of like an egg white, but a little bit more firm. Of all the egg recipes we're trying today, this is the one I challenge you to make in your own house. Give it a shot and don't burn your place down.
From the mystical eggs of Thailand, we're moving on to the sovereign nation of Taiwan. In the past, we've documented this country's iron eggs, made by boiling chicken eggs in a soy sauce base over and over again. But folks on this island have more than one egg trick on their menu. Introducing the oyster omelet.
The concept of an oyster omelet is something most Americans can't even conceive of. If my mom went to an omelet bar in the USA and saw oysters as a topping option, she would have a heart attack and she would be deceased. And I just saw the woman behind me make this, and let me tell you, she didn't put in 1 or 2 oysters, she put in like 100 oysters.
This maritime egg option originated in the coastal regions of southern Taiwan, where oysters were cheap and plentiful, but where rice and starch were at times limited. So people improvised and the oyster omelet was born. It starts with a bowl of fresh oysters, seasoning powder, 5-spice powder, and MSG. Add a splash of sticky cornstarch slurry, spring onions, and crack an egg right on top. Give it a quick mix and it's off to the walk.
This is still branded as an omelet, but I would argue it could also be called a pancake. Here's why. It all starts with oil. Then on top of that oil, instead of putting the egg in first, she puts in a slurry of cornstarch.
Now pour in the oyster and egg mixture. Let that starch gel together. Flip it fast and slice it down the middle. Here it's served over lettuce with some fresh herbs and a side of fish sauce.
On the top, it looks super crunchy. It actually smells and looks delicious. When you peel it back and reveal the underside, there are dozens and dozens of little slimy oysters that have infiltrated my omelet. Let's toss it back, baby. Oh wow. You can hardly feel the oysters. They're in there somewhere, but my God, that was a flavor explosion. The first thing you feel isn't a slimy oyster, it's oodles and oodles of oil. There's so much oil here that at any moment, Trump is gonna send the US military to capture this omelet's president. Now that is a lot of oil. When it comes to oysters, people are used to seeing big, slimy, slippery oysters, but when they're small like this, it's a completely different game. It is much less slimy and the texture is a lot more solid. Beyond that, you have a little bit of crispiness from the fried omelet. Put it all together and this is a feast for the senses. Now that's nice.
From Taiwan, we take a short trip across Asia to the land of precision and perfection. Welcome to Japan. Here, they do eggs a little differently.
Now Japan, probably more than any other country in Asia, has the most unique egg dishes. Everything from fluffy egg salad sandwiches to sterilized eggs that you can eat raw and dip your sukiyaki meat into. Throughout history, there's been no better duo than eggs and Japanese people.
Over time, Japanese chefs competed to make them softer, silkier, and more visually impressive. This led to the creation of the tornado egg.
This thing looks amazing. It looks like a work of art. Actually, at first when I looked at it, it looked like it was plastic, like it wasn't even real. This is a dish that's kind of confusing, the tornado egg. Not as popular as Japan's tsunami egg, but still pretty good.
First, the eggs hit a splash of milk. Beat them smooth, then pour it into the hot pan. Now, the technique. Anchor the center with chopsticks. Gently twist, pulling the cooked layers in while allowing the raw egg to flow out into the gaps, creating a literal vortex of soft golden layers. Once it's cooked barely enough to hold its form, the egg is draped over rice, flooded with a rich beef curry. Dust it with Japanese 7-spice and a final sprinkle of sesame seeds.
It smells very spiced, it smells fragrant, it smells like a typical Japanese curry. So I'm gonna now cut into this, and I think the goal is to scoop a little curry, egg, and rice at the same time. Oh, that's nice. Let's toss it back. Wow, love. The egg, it's adding some slipperiness to each bite. I can't really say that it's creamy because it's still solid. The star here seems to be the egg, at least visually when you first look at this dish, but the flavor, it's all coming from that spiced curry. The curry has bits of broken down beef, it's spiced, it's salty, and it's super sweet. In Japan, they're not afraid to eat eggs that are partially cooked or not even cooked at all. And that's what you're gonna see with our next egg. Our next Japanese dish right here, onsen tamago, or the Japanese hot spring egg. In Japan, you often hear the word onsen when people are referring to going to a hot spring in the countryside to relax. Well, these eggs are basically getting the same treatment.
The onsen egg was not born in a kitchen, but in Japan's natural hot springs, where eggs are cooked outdoors using naturally heated water. Today, onsen eggs have become part of everyday Japanese cuisine.
What makes the onsen egg really unique is the way it's cooked. It's simple, but it's not easy.
Here's how it's made when you don't have a hot spring handy. First, bring the water to a boil. Then turn off the heat and add cold water to bring the temperature down to exactly 160 degrees. Gently submerge the eggs and let them bathe for precisely 17 minutes.
This dish is unique because anybody could technically make this in a pot of water at their house, but so few will be able to actually pull it off.
Finally, bring the temperature down using ice. And that's it. It sounds simple, right? But you won't know if it actually worked until you crack the egg open.
Ideally, when you crack the egg open, you will see that the whites have set into a soft custard, while the yolk stays thick, creamy, and spoonable, like my wife.
Serve it with a savory Japanese soup stock and 7 spice.
Let me be honest, this is my first time having an onsen egg. Oh, look at that. The egg white itself is still runny. It kind of looks like snot. Wow, that's very nice. It's so different from that pho egg that we started this video with. That pho egg, which was basically an egg yolk, was essentially raw. This is slightly cooked. It's cooked just enough to be creamy and to be a little bit thick enough to coat the inside of your mouth. And it's not just the egg, it's about the sauce they put in with the egg too. It's just mildly salty and sweet. Very delicate flavors and stunning. I gotta say, in the egg world, it doesn't get much more decadent than that.
Finally, an egg dish born in the late 19th century, when Western cuisine began influencing Japanese cooking. Japan embraced Western-style omelets into a dish that embodies the Japanese obsession with texture. This is omurice. Start by whipping 3 eggs with a splash of milk. Now the dance begins. Pour the mixture into a pan. While one hand shakes the pan, the other stirs the curds continuously. What you want is the eggs to form a wet, loose scramble that's only 70% cooked. Next, the shape. As the edges set, peel them back into the center. Then flip the pan so the egg wraps over itself. Then seal it shut to form that classic football shape. Gently slide it onto rice, drench it in a rich demi-glace sauce, and wait for the moment to set it free.
Right here we have our final Asian egg dish of the day, Japanese omurice. And right now I'm gonna attempt to cut it by myself. Let's see what happens. Okay, they said don't cut too deep. Give it a shallow cut. Go across the center. And oh my God, it's steamy, it's hot, it's gorgeous. This is omurice. If you didn't figure it out by now, omu means omelet and rice, that means rice. In the end, I gotta say, this is a very impressive looking omelet. And then when you cut it open, there's just this half-cooked, glistening, saucy, wet-looking egg staring right back at you. So today I'm gonna start my omurice from the edge over here. That looks absolutely delicious. It's not just an omelet, it's a show, it's a spectacle. That said, let's give it a shot. Wow. That is delicious. What a flavor combination. This demi-glace, this sauce is absolutely packed with flavor. It is sugary, it is savory, it is packed with a beefy punch. But the sauce alone is obviously too much. You need to mix it with that rice to cut through it a little bit. And then that egg on top is kind of like the cherry on top. That is to die for. I gotta say, this is a great way to end the day. I've had omurice before in Korea, where I lived for 8 years, and sorry my Hanguk Chingus, but this is out of this world. In this video, we tried 11 eggs from all across Asia, but if I had to choose one that was my absolute favorite, it would be the Thai grilled egg. I know, surprising, yeah? Because it might seem like I'd pick one of the Japanese ones. Those are also very good, but there's something special about that Thai grilled egg. First of all, it's an egg few people have ever tried before, except for Thai people, I guess. Even though the omurice was delicious, there's so many other ingredients involved, but the Thai grilled egg, it's just about the egg, baby. A little bit of seasoning, a little bit of a mix, put it back in the shell. That to me is Asian egg magic. But that's just my opinion. Guys, let me know what you think downstairs in the comments down below. Which of these eggs would you absolutely love to try for yourself? Otherwise, thank you so much for watching. I will see you next time. Peace. Bye.